Hello and welcome to this channel about cryptocurrency education. Today I'd like to talk about Quant, which is one of my favorite cryptocurrency projects. I started to talk about Quant on this channel when it was at around $60 to $70. And yeah, my channel is only 2 months old, so I didn't really have a chance to talk about it earlier, but I've been tracking Quant for a while and I have started to invest a while ago. I'm dollar cost averaging. I'm constantly adding to my portfolio. I'm not invested, I've not invested massive amounts in Quant because it is still early stages, but they have quite a lot of good partners. They work together with Amazon, and this project for me, as I said, I don't have massive amounts invested, but due to the potential this project has, I think it is very important. And I'm going to continue to invest in Quant. And I said in my last video that I stopped buying for now because we were reaching an all-time high. And I never buy at an all-time high. I don't want to do that. And many years ago, I lost money with crypto. And that was because I bought at an all-time high. And since then, I've never done that again. And it's gone really well. So the losses I've had, that was a learning, and I've never had, I still had losses, but I've recovered those losses and made many more gains. So I'm really happy how it's going. And this notion of not investing in an all-time high, it's done really well for me. So I've had one question underneath one of my recent videos asking me when I would start to invest again in Quant, because obviously I said I'm adding constantly to my portfolio. I'm dollar cost averaging, but I tend to stop buying when something reaches its all-time high. I find that a little bit difficult because I just don't want to get into the FOMO, and this is something that I've sort of sworn myself I'm just not doing. Obviously, since then, it was a good decision, kind of, because we have retraced since then. But what I want to add, first of all, this is not financial advice. Yeah, I'm not a financial advisor. Please always do your own research. And the second point is, if you invested in the long run, it's not that important to go with that notion not to invest in an all-time high. It probably wouldn't have made a big difference in the long run because I tend to hold my cryptos at least 4 years. And if I buy here or there, it won't make a difference. If Quant is at 5,000 or 10,000 in a few years, which I am sure it will be. But this is only my own opinion. But let's just take a look when I will start buying again. I won't wait much longer, to be honest. And there are a couple of reasons for that, and I want to talk to you about that. Now, we've seen a massive price increase. Let's just zoom out a little bit. This is a daily chart. So every candle that you can see, every green or red candle, represents a daily, the daily trading price moves. And what we can see, the chart here starts beginning of 21, a lot of sideways movement, a lot of up and down. And then when the whole crypto market was in a slow downtrend, and when we saw these sideways movements, actually Quant started to move up. And now that everything's going up, Quant is going down again. So it is really interesting how Quant doesn't seem to be related at all to Bitcoin. And it seems like, because it's an overledger, it seems a bit like it acts a little bit independent from Bitcoin, and I find that highly interesting. Also due to the potential of potentially seeing Quant doing really well in a bear market potentially. So just wanted to mention that. Everybody needs to come to their own conclusions, but I find that highly interesting. Now let's take a look at that. So it's obviously gone up quite a lot. We still see a lot of volume here. There's a lot of interest still. What we can see is volume up, volume still at a high level. What we can see is that the RSI, which is a momentum indicator, and I just need to move that up a little bit here. This is the RSI here, momentum indicator that indicates the momentum of a price move. We were here at the top, and this is also why I stopped buying, at the overbought territory. So when we're in overbought territory, generally, whenever that happens, it usually indicates a peak, that we've reached a peak. Usually, it always needs to be seen together with other indicators and oscillators, but usually I'm doing quite well with that. When I stop buying, or I don't tend to invest above that, because if we are at that level, it really tends to indicate a coming price decrease. So we could see that here, that peak of the RSI that gave us a clear indication. That was this huge candle here, that after that we actually could see a decrease, and it happened, and we are now seeing that correction. And also back here in June we saw the same thing. We were actually at an overbought level, and then we saw that that red candle here, and here it happened again. We were at peak, this green candle, we were above the overbought, or we were in the overbought territory, red candle, correction. So we are now out of the overbought territory, which is a good sign. This is now moving sideways, which means, which indicates that really at the moment there isn't any price movement at all. So we are having a sideways price move. And the other indicator or oscillator that I tend to take a look at is the MACD, another trend indicator. And what we can see here, green is normally in the bullish area, indicating price increases. Now that obviously dropped off, and it's always a bit behind, but when it starts to drop off, it normally shows that we're getting into bearish territory, at least short term. So whenever that happened, even here when the MACD was still red, we didn't see any price increase back in July. Then we saw this massive movement. Now we're on the way down, and now we're actually moving into this red area. And also we can see that this blue line is crossing the red line, or the orange line, which is a bearish cross. And I believe this will go on for maybe a couple of weeks, which will then basically be a repetition of this here, of this red area, of where this histogram gets red, which means that I think for the next couple of weeks we won't see any significant price moves. That's my own personal opinion. Maybe we'll even go down a little bit more. We might correct a little bit more. That is what I can see based on these indicators and oscillators. Now, there are two more important indicators I want to take a look at. These two moving averages here. What we need to say, because this is now an all-time high, there isn't a lot we can go by. There are no old resistance levels really we can take a look at. But there is one resistance level here where we had a correction and a test around $135. And we are currently with the moving average here, the 20-day moving average. This will also form, together with that, probably a resistance level. Now, as long as the price is above this 20-day moving average, I think we're still going to see some positive price moves. But if we break below that, the next resistance for me is here at around $100, which will be this 50-day moving average, which is even a more significant moving average. What I will personally do, I will wait another couple of days how this is going to play out. I think based on these indicators that I've just seen and showed you, I don't see any immediate positive price moves. There is no need to panic now. I think there will be a slight consolidation or sideways movement within the next week or couple of weeks. But then, generally it's looking bullish. We are above the moving averages. The RSI indicates there is some scope to the upside, and generally we're in a bull market, and generally it is a really, really cool project. So I'm not worried at all about this project. I just don't like to invest at an all-time high, and I think there will be another slight consolidation or sideways movement. Now, I could be wrong, but that is what I can see based on these indicators and oscillators. So I expect it either to stay at this level, but I think it will go down to the $135 mark, which is when I will buy. I think this is when I will start to buy again. But generally, long term, it doesn't have a big impact. But sometimes I like to do these things just to see if I'm really right, because I'm not, I'm not a expert with 10 or 20 years of trading experience, but I've really tried to learn everything I can about these indicators and oscillators and about the crypto market. So I've done quite well with trades, but generally most of my cryptos are really in a long-term portfolio that I don't touch, where I just accumulate. So I look at these prices just because I want to know what's going on. I have a smaller portfolio which I will use to, I buy at what I think is a good price, and then I tend to sell at a higher price. So I have a trading portfolio, but this is my smaller portfolio. The other portfolio is growing all the time, but I don't touch it. I just buy. And then really, if I buy at 170 or 140, it doesn't make a big difference. But still, I like to take a look at this. I try to share my learnings and share what I think. So that is why I make these videos. And hopefully that helps you as well. I can just, I can't do a recommendation here because I'm not a financial advisor, but I would, or I will buy when it's sort of at the $135 range. I think we will go back towards that, most certainly, because this is now an important resistance level, and I think we will go back to that. And what makes me pretty sure about that is this upcoming bearish, at least short-term bearish move of the MACD. Alright, so hopefully you liked the video. If you did, please smash the like button, and if you want to follow me on this crypto journey, then please subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye!